Well, good morning, everybody. It is officially summer here in Virginia. The humidity has already set in. So I have to run down to the house. We received a package today from California. So I think I know what it is, but we'll open it when we get to the house. And I also just want to see on the house, see what's going on. I know the contractors have been busy doing other projects for other people. So I think they just started back up at the house. So let's go down there and see what they're up to. Something's changed. It looks like the farmer's been busy. So this is corn, as I'm sure many of you all can guess. This is not people corn, though. This is actually feed corn. This is what people use for feed, a byproduct for food, ethanol production, stuff like that. There's an old saying that says corn should be knee-high by the 4th of July. And I think it's a little higher than knee-high. It's about, probably about 4 foot tall right now. So looking pretty good. Last year, he planted soybeans. Soybeans, again, are a byproduct. They're used a lot in filler feed, stuff like that. These are agricultural crops, but they're not really people crops. They feed the things that we consume, I guess. But anyway, it's kind of neat to see it all planted. So, yeah, all right. Let's go in the house and see what's been going on. All right, so not a whole lot on the outside has changed, but I do see some PVC pipe. So that means we're going to get plumbing soon. As many of y'all know, the bathroom situation in the house has changed a few times. So originally it was just going to remain the two bathrooms, one upstairs and the one downstairs. Now, with the addition and some other changes that had to happen on the house, there's actually now going to be 3 full baths and 1 half bath. So that's quite an improvement for this house. It's going to make it really, really nice. So let's go inside and see what we can find. All right. All right, so this is going to be the utility room again, and it looks like they're putting in cam lights up here. That's going to be nice. There is washer hookup, be right there. So the washer and dryer are going to go there. Hot water tank, very important. And this will be probably some storage here. You can see they're adding in all the electricity now, which is nice. More recessed lighting here and here. Okay. So it looks like a fixture, box has gone in the kitchen ceiling, so there will be a fixture here. I believe we are going to be doing a little reveal of some of that stuff here shortly, because we do have the light fixture there. It's kind of interesting. Let's see what else we can find. All right. So I see where more electrical has been run here. Plugs everywhere. You can never have enough plugs. As a little bit of interior designer and an antique enthusiast, there's never enough plugs. So this is great. Again, more lights here. This is going to be a half bath. So we will have sink vanity here, obviously sconce lighting there, and the commode will be in that area right there. I love it. Starting to see it. Okay. As you can see, more receptacles. So again, this is the original exterior wall of the house, and all this is new. So this is all new. So literally the new tied into the old. And you can see here they have removed all the antiquated wiring and have started to put in new fuses. All right, let's go around here. So previously there was a kind of like a metal light fixture here. Not really anything special. That has been removed, and as you can see, there's new wiring there. Some type of light fixture will go there. I don't think they have found that quite yet. And new wiring has been running here over. I see where they're still working on some of the wiring down below. So that will be worked on soon. Here we see a lot of trim work. So this is just various trim throughout the house. I'm sure they have it stacked accordingly. So at some point we will have to go through all this, scrape it, plane it down, and reinstall it as best we can. Some of it probably will have to be either remanufactured or replaced with different materials. But we'll get to that at a later date. So let's go through here. This room currently is set up to be, I believe, not a bedroom. I'm not sure what Michael has in store for this room, but I do know this was a bedroom, or used as a bedroom by the previous owner. There will be a full bath here. Oh, it could very well be a downstairs bedroom. And it looks like the wiring hasn't really been running here yet. It looks like they're mapping out some things. So it might be a shower stall or something going here, I do believe. Because, of course, there still has to be a commode and a sink put in. So there has to be room for all these things. All right. You can see in this room, you can see where wiring has been run for the receptacles in this room. And over here, you can see a little glimpse of some of the flooring. So these pretty tiles right here are actually really cool. And when they're together, they actually make a pattern. So this is very Victorian. You can see here, I'll actually try and do two things at one time. Let's see here. So this flooring goes like this. Okay. So that is the basic pattern right there. It makes a medallion. That is actually going to be in this room over here. That is going to be in that entire room. So that is really pretty. Very in keeping with the age of the house. Very Victorian. And then these little hexagon, like, not subway tiles. I it's called hexagons. These are going to be for a floor. And I think this bathroom we were just looking at over here. Either this bathroom or that bathroom, I'm not 100% sure, but it is going to be one of the bathroom floors. So you can see that the black picks up on the black in there. It all kind of ties together. So those little things like that when you're designing a house, you want to keep in mind. Not every room has to match, but it is nice to have a cohesive theme that kind of flows throughout the house to make it look like it was intentional, but it was done over time. So that's going to be very nice. All right, so let's go upstairs and see what we can find. So this is the first upstairs bathroom. Looks like we're framing out something here. I'm not 100% sure what this might be. This could be potentially maybe storage, maybe a linen closet situation. So we'll see what that is. And then you can see more wiring has been brought down from the ceiling down. And let's go through bedroom. Now, the bedrooms will not have overhead lighting. They will have, in front of all the fireplaces, those little mini cam lights to shine down on whatever artwork or mantle decorations are there. So, but we can see plugs are going in up here. And you will notice now, all the trim work has been removed from the windows. So, all the windows in the house are now going to be replaced. After the new windows went in the addition, it kind of brought to light that these windows, although lovely and wooden and probably not original to the house, but older windows, they really just need a lot of work. They've been mispainted a lot. The storm windows on the outside are not the best windows. They're not very energy efficient. So they are all being replaced. Now, the interesting thing was the bottom sashes were actually held in by the trim. So when the trim came off, the bottom sashes came off, which made it very difficult for them to put in drywall because there was going to be this weird gap. So this actually helps two problems: energy efficient, and then the overall aesthetic look of the trim work. You can see here, there is a lot of room for improvement when it comes to insulating. So the new windows will take care of that. And you'll see this is like a metal flashing. This is not original. This was added. This is what they put on these sills to, stop rot, because the wood will rot if it's not kept painted. But if there's metal flashing covering it, obviously the wood is not going to get wet. So all this will be removed and new windows will be put in here. I will actually show you the comparison. So these are the new windows here. These are wooden windows by Anderson, and they're lovely. So these are actually going to be in the entire house now. You can see they're very, very similar to the antique windows. However, they are energy efficient. They are energy glass. They have rubber seals. They're all insulated. And you can see they fit much better, and there is virtually no gapping here. So that will cut down on the cost. Because for those who live in old buildings, we all know it is a bear to heat and cool them. So this will definitely cut down on those issues. All right. So, and here's some more tile. This is going to be in the primary upstairs bathroom, which is right off the staircase. We go out here. And as you can see, we have more of those little mini cam lights that will shine down on the walls on either side to display some artwork. There will be a light fixture of sorts here over the main staircase. And then we go in here. And again, mini cam light. And again, you can see where the trim was taken off. But look at these nails. Look at those. These are just ginormous nails. Just massive. So those will be interesting how they get those out. This is actually not dirt. It's actually like a film on the outside. Probably just years of rainwater and everything getting on there, because it is hard to actually get on a second story to clean windows. So all this will be gone. These will be not sure what we're going to do with them. I don't know if we can salvage them, if they can be recycled, repurposed in some way. I'm sure we'll figure something out. And again, here's the trim that came off the windows. Kind of give you an idea of how chunky this is. And you can see those big thick cut nails. Look at that. So get to be kind of an idea. And you might not really be able to see much of the paint, but there's quite a bit of paint. So if we kind of lift that up, sometimes you can see the colors underneath. It looks like this almost reminds me see on the edges here, you can see white paint here. And that could just be from the walls or the plaster work. But I'm seeing, and I hope it shows up in the camera, but it might not. You can kind of see it's almost like a brown paint or anything. I'm wondering if this was maybe faux grained at one time. That was very common. A lot of times, because this is like white pine. A lot of times, you can see the wood grain there. A lot of times what they would do in these older homes to mimic more expensive mahoganies, rosewoods, exotic woods like that, they would actually grain paint the woodwork to kind of give it that, more expensive look. So they could have been grain painted at one time, and then over the years when styles changed, they would just paint it and paint it and paint it till we get to this kind of a mustardy colonial yellow color, which God only knows when that was actually put on, but I'm sure it was not original to the house. That's just what was put on it over the years. Okay. So again, you can see it better here, this like metal flashing. You can see how it's starting to deteriorate here, probably from moisture and stuff like that. So all this will come out and new windows will go in. And let's go in here. So this is what I was talking about, how some of the woodwork might not be salvageable, or we might have to come up with something else, because you can see when they were removing it how it did damage, and it's just these big, thick old nails are just impossible to pull. So it's unfortunate, but it does happen. And I'm sure this was nailed to this over time, and I'm sure they put a lot of screws and nails on that. Okay, so again, new receptacles are going in. As you can see right there, the wires just haven't been run to it yet. We have insulation on the outside and another little cam light up there. And this is going to be the flooring for the primary bathroom for this bedroom, which obviously is right here. So I still have not quite figured out why we have two door openings. I'm sure this was actually a window, and so was that at one time when the house was originally built, and this was an exterior wall and there was nothing here. So I'm sure this is going to have to be reframed out, because I think this is going to be the door still, because this was the door previously. But this does kind of open up the options depending on how the bathroom is going to be laid out, whether you enter in from this side, which would be the same as downstairs, or if you enter in from this side, which is where the window is. But either way, there will be a door here. So again, this is one of the newer windows. And here, I think, is where we are going to put a shower right here. So this will be a nice big shower area, which would be very, very nice. I believe a vanity is going in here, and I think the commode is going here. Don't quote me on that. I don't know if that's set in stone yet, or if that's just the theoretical plan. But eventually, we will see where everything goes once they put the plumbing in, once the plumbing goes in. So I think that is kind of it for right now. But it's looking good. Starting to see all these little things come together finally, which is always nice. All right, guys. Well, that's a wrap for inside the house. Now, let's go back outside and see what's in that box, because I think I know what it is, but I can't remember. There's been a lot going on, so let's go downstairs and see what's in that box, okay? Come on. All right, so here's the box that was sent to me. I'm opening it from the bottom side so you can't see all the, good information on the front for safety purposes. So let's just see here. All right, so it looks like we've got boxes within boxes. Okay, glass handle with care. All right, let's see. Let's see if I can do this with one hand. Okay. Oh, Here we go. Oh, okay. So we've got light sconces. Okay, these are the same as the ones that are on the front porch. So this must be the extra light sconces for the exterior doors on the back of the house. Let's see. And I think I've got 2 here. Yeah, I've got 2 lights here, so that's good. So yeah, so one for here and one for the door on the other side. Okay. Well, not too terribly exciting, but it is nice to see that the exterior will have a few more lights added. Okay, well, I'm gonna leave these here inside for David Butler. Okay, everybody. Well, that's it for today. I'm gonna get out of here. It's getting kind of hot. As my grandfather would say, it's hotter than the devil's drawers. So, and it is. It's pretty humid today. I think it's about 75% humidity, 80% humidity. Pretty typical for the mid-East Coast. We're not too far from the water. As the crow flies, probably a mile, maybe 2 from Potomac River. So it gets pretty hot here. A lot of water, a lot of little creeks and stuff. So it's pretty humid. A lot of bugs. So anyway, I hope everyone is safe. Please stay safe out there. And as always, I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.
Remember to like, subscribe, and hit that notification button.